Oh, hey everybody, Lee with LG Speed and Custom here, and in this video we are finally gonna fix the bent I-beams on Brown Sugar. So I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago, when I say a few weeks ago, it was actually probably like 2 months ago, I brought the truck in the shop just to fix a transmission leak on it, and while I was jacking it up, I bent the dropped I-beams that are in this truck. Huge bummer. As a result, I've still been driving the truck. The truck runs and drives fine. Really the only thing that changed with the I-beams bending is we have gone from, I used to have it at like 2 degrees negative camber, and we are now at 7 degrees positive camber. So essentially my wheels used to sit slightly like that, and now they're like that. The only thing it's really going to do is increase my tire wear. It looks a little goofy. Probably won't do any good like autocrossing. Probably not in the game. And it could, when your tires are like that, under hard braking, there's a chance that they'll lock up easier than when they're sitting normal. So my plan is to hopefully pull the I-beams out. My friend Ken has a really heavy-duty press. We'll go over to his place, straighten them back out, and then I might weld some reinforcement plates on them. They're fabricated I-beams. They're not stock Ford ones. They are fabricated out of 3 pieces of steel plate to form an I-beam, and they have a drop built into them, which is how the truck is lowered. So I think we'll get this thing up in the air and then pull the I-beams out. So how this happened was when I went to jack the truck up, I had the jack under there like that, underneath the I-beam itself, rather than here under the cross member. Now, I've been working on twin I-beam Ford trucks most of my life. My dad was a big Ford truck guy. That's why I'm into Ford trucks. And it's never ever been an issue. However, we have a Cummins in this truck now, and I think the extra weight of the Cummins was just too much to jack on the I-beam like that. So, lesson learned, from now on, I will only jack up on this cross member. So you can see they're just simple I-beam. So hopefully it shouldn't be that big of a deal to press them out. We're gonna have to undo the, let's zoom out a little bit here so you can see better. We're gonna have to undo the coil spring, the shock, probably just set the caliper to the side. That way we don't have to bleed the system at all. I'm hoping that we can leave the spindle on it. That shouldn't really affect what Ken and I have to do. And then there is, at the other end, way there, we got to take that big bolt out, and then the I-beam should come out. Hopefully it won't be a huge job. Holy moly, I should probably get some brakes for this thing too. You know, I just put brakes on this truck 3 years ago? 4 years ago. I think I put brakes on it when I put the dropped I-beams in. So 4 years. Time for brakes. Watch your thumbs. Yeah, there's your problem. That's supposed to be straight, and it is not straight. So this one is the worst one. The other one wasn't as bad, but I'm gonna pull them both out and straighten them both out. All right, both I-beams are out. This one, well, let's stand where we're not in the shadow. This one is bent a little bit, but not as bad as that one there. I stripped the coil springs and the radius rods off, so I think the next step now is to take them over to Ken's. And I think he's got a 120-ton press. And we'll squish these guys back into shape. Here's Ken's 100-ton press. I lied, it's only 100-ton, not 120. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but
Can't have everything cool.
yeah, that'll straighten that thing out. Back from Ken's place, man, that press is unbelievable. I never knew how badly I needed a big hydraulic press till then. I have a press, but it's only a little 12-ton one. It's not, oh man, if I had a press like that, it'd make dropping axles so much easier to do like camber corrections and stuff. So let's unload these guys. Oh no, my camera fell over. You guys okay? These things are so heavy. Oops. Whoops. Whoops. All right. Now I just got to put them back in. Whew. Both I-beams are back in the truck again. They went together pretty okay. No major hiccups or anything. Thanks to, huge thanks to Ken for straightening these out for me. Man, I couldn't have done that without him. So all that's left now is we gotta replace the brakes. I think I showed you guys when I took it apart, but that brake pad, I almost called it a brake shoe. I'm so used to drum brakes. That brake pad is done. So I've got some new ones here. Hopefully they're the right ones. I got those from Chris at Bumperland, and he wasn't 100% sure that they'd be the right ones. This is 71, 72 is the first year for disc brakes on a F350, and then in 73 they changed to a different style. So they're a bit weird when it comes time to getting brakes for it. But the brakes that are on there now, the worn out ones, I got those from the same place 4 years ago, so he's pretty sure they're the right ones. We'll find out tomorrow. I don't have time to put them in today, but tomorrow morning we'll be right back out here. Put those brakes in and then put it on the ground and see how it sits. Make sure our camber's okay. If the camber is still a little bit out, I'd be okay with cutting like another, maybe a quarter coil or a half a coil off. This truck used to sit considerably lower before I put the Cummins in. And when I put the Cummins in, I had to put bigger coil springs in. These coil springs, I think, are from a like 90s Ford 1-ton van. What I did was I looked up the spring rate from the Dodge F250, not F250, the Dodge 3/4 ton that this came out of. And I think they were like 480 pound springs. So I went on Moog's website, I think, and just kind of went through all the listings until I found coils that were like the same dimensions as the F350 ones. And they were even a heavier spring rate. I think these are like 580 pound springs. So they're heavy duty. When I put them in, it's at way too high. So I ended up cutting 2 coils off, and that got it to the height that it was at, but it wasn't, you know, it could be a little bit lower. I think I just ran out of steam, didn't want to cut any more coils, and thought, oh, let's see what it looks like if it settles a little bit. So I don't know if it ever did settle, but we'll put it back together, go drive it around the block, see what it looks like, and then from there decide if we want to, you know, cut another half a coil, maybe a quarter coil, just to get it a little bit lower, back where it used to be. Well, it's Saturday, time to put some brakes on. You know how you can tell it's Saturday? Because it's raining, and it only rains on Saturdays. My pal Jim always says, what comes after 2 days of rain? Monday. But I think it's going to stop raining shortly, so I'm just going to go back in the shop and probably work on the 32 for a little bit and wait for this to go by. I think the sun's going to come out, hopefully. I just want to put my brakes on. I'm so close. Well, two good things happened. I've got all my rear brake lines plumbed on the 32, and it has quit raining out. It's still, you know, not quite going to the beach weather, but it's not ridiculously cold and it's not raining. So let's finish up these brakes here. I just checked the brakes that I got from Chris because he was a little bit unsure if they were the right ones or not, and I think they're going to work okay. So we'll quickly button this up and then maybe go for a road test. Put it on the ground and see how it looks. Yeah, I'd say those brakes were well overdue, especially that one. I had a really hard time getting these apart when we did these brakes. My friend Mike was helping me, and oh, Mike, bless his heart. Mike has lived in Southern California his whole life, and in Southern California they don't really need to use anti-seize, so none of this was put together with anti-seize, which means it was really, really hard to get apart. In fact, I didn't know if these were going to come out. I ended up having to smack them really good with a hammer, and I even went and got heat, but they came out without heat. I also had a really hard time getting this caliper to go back. It eventually went back, but the wheel is, if I take a bar, you know, maybe not while holding a camera, but it will spin. There we go. I'm a little bit nervous about that though, because I did the brakes once before on this truck and just put new pads in and had to force the caliper back like that. Oh man, I just got anti-seize all over me. And the caliper ended up, it would stick. I'd step on the brakes and it would stick, and I'd go like 2 or 3 blocks and it'd start smoking. So I ended up having to, I just replaced these calipers with brand new ones. But I don't want to do that again because these calipers are only, 4 years old. So hopefully it's, it all works out and it's happy, but I'm a little bit nervous about it. Let's go do the other side, and yeah, we'll do the other side and let this side think about what it's done. This side's going a little bit better. The other side, I just like put a pry bar in there to push the caliper back, which 9 out of 10 times works fine. But this side, I actually got a big old C-clamp in there and sucked it back, and it sucked back really easy. So hopefully there's nothing wrong with this caliper. These pads are also considerably better than the pads from that side, which makes me even more nervous about that caliper over there. So hopefully it's fine. Hopefully it all works. This also has different hardware. These guys are big chonkers compared to the ones that used to be on there, which is a good thing. So hopefully this keeps going well, and hopefully that side works. I just want my brakes to work. This side went together great. I realized when I had it apart that these are actually, they're just like 1/2-inch bolts that somebody has cut down. And then on the end here where it's super narrow, that's just like a 1/2-inch nut that they cut in half. So I'm assuming the issue I was having on that side, somebody's already had on this side, and that was their solution, which is pretty good. I'm gonna remember that if that side doesn't come apart again. Okay, I'm gonna have some lunch and then put some wheels on. So we just finished lunch. Shannon's giving me a hand to put the wheels on. I took this caliper back apart, and I got it in where I think it's good now. So hopefully it stays like that. We're gonna do a quick wheel alignment with the tape measure, just to make sure it's still okay. And then I think we're done. Okay, our tape measure alignment is perfect. We got an 1/8 of an inch toe in, so we're gonna put it on the ground now. Note, I'm not jacking on the I-beams. I'm on the cross member now. Lesson learned. Also, at the beginning of this video, I said I was gonna reinforce these, and I totally forgot. Completely forgot about it. So that didn't happen, but they'll be fine. I think I'll remember to never ever jack up on those I-beams again. Let's see if this thing still starts. Of course it would. Oil pressure. All right. Oh man. Come on, brakes. There we go. Okay, we got a brake pedal now. We're moving. Try the brakes again. Cool. So we just went for a little road test, and everything seems to be okay. That driver's side caliper, when we just parked there a minute ago, it kind of smelled a little bit warm. Like you could smell the brakes a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be, there's no resistance or anything. So hopefully it's okay. I'll just kind of keep an eye on it, I guess. We're gonna go do some official brown sugar business now. All the air conditioning parts for Steve Tilley's 59 Ford have arrived out at Sea Wings, which is at the Victoria Airport. So we're gonna drive out there now and pick up all the air conditioning parts. And then I also found some really cool vintage doors on Marketplace, like house doors. So I got one with a cool window that's gonna go in the upholstery room, and then another one for upstairs in the shop. So we'll grab those, they're out there as well. So we'll go do some truck stuff. We just loaded up at Sea Wings. The truck made it out here fine, no problems. That brake caliper that I was worried about, it doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. There was no brake smell or anything when we got here, so that's good. So we got the air conditioning stuff for Steve's 59 Ford now from Sea Wings, which is a pretty cool place. For those that don't know, we are in Canada. That's where we live, that's where our shop is. And to ship stuff to Canada can sometimes be really expensive, or sometimes we come across like US suppliers that just simply won't ship to Canada. I don't know, they don't like Canada, they hate us for some reason, and they're like, nope, not shipping stuff to Canada. Vintage Air is one of those companies that won't ship to Canada. So where Sea Wings comes in handy is Sea Wings has a warehouse in Blaine, Washington, and every day there's a truck behind us here, that big truck over there. And every day they drive that truck to Blaine, Washington, load it up, and come back to Victoria with it with a whole bunch of stuff. So they picked up our Vintage Air stuff. We had it shipped to Blaine. And the other cool thing about Sea Wings being out here at the airport is there's a customs office out here at the airport. So we can do our own customs clearancing, and then you just pay taxes right at the airport, and you don't have to pay like an inflated fee like when some other companies, like Brown Shipping Companies, send stuff. They charge like sometimes up to 50% of the value of the product, which is a lot. So it's really cool that we can just do it ourselves here and save some money. They're also really great with, there's a lot of American companies that offer free shipping in the US, but they don't offer free shipping to Canada. So we can just use the free shipping, get it sent to Washington, and then Sea Wings will go and pick it up, and they charge a very, very reasonable rate. So now that we've got that, let's go pick up those old doors. All right, well, we made it back to the shop and everything seems to be fine again. I think we can call this thing fixed. This is a successful video. The truck is back on the road. The 47's back on the road. The Roadster is pretty much back on the road. I had it out the other day. There'll be more to come on that shortly. Shannon's Comet on the road. Everything's on the road except for the 32, and I still got the 59 Meteor. I haven't touched that thing. It's still sitting on the trailer from when we brought it home. That was almost 2 months ago now. So I made a rule when I bought that car that I wouldn't touch it until the 47, the Comet, and the truck were fixed, and we're there now. So I don't know how the camber is yet. I have to park on level ground so that I can measure it, but just eyeballing it, it looks right in the ballpark, whereas before it was noticeably off. So I'm pretty confident that's okay. That brake caliper that I was worried about, it figured its stuff out. It's good again. So yeah, I think might as well call this video here. Thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, if you want to support the channel, please check out lgspeedcustom.com. Get yourself some LG Speed and custom merch like this great Roadster shirt that I've got on. We've got, we're going to be doing a video on Steve's 59 Ford again, putting this air conditioning system in. And yeah, we always have, there's non-stop content here, so make sure to subscribe and hit notifications so that You guys are in the loop with everything. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you later.